Grand Rising, Shabbat Shalom, family. Today, we are in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, where the Most High Yahuwah pulls back the veil and shows us, the Gentile nations, in how they rise, rule, and fall, and how this all leads to global conflict, judgment, and ultimately the kingdom of Yahuwah. Let them that have ears hear pertaining to what is being revealed in today's lesson. You see, family, the beast in Daniel chapter 7 are not literal animals, but they are Gentile kingdoms, nations, and rulers. You see, family, most often the Creator Yahuwah will use symbology. He will use a physical thing to explain a spiritual one. So as we proceed forth in today's lesson and the beast of Daniel are revealed to you, just know that it is not talking about literal animals, but Gentile kingdoms, rulers, and nations. Keep that in mind as we proceed forward in today's powerful lesson. In the book of Matthew, or Matityahu, chapter 24, verse 6 and 7, it reads, "And ye or you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows." So keep your physical and spiritual eyes open, family, because what just has taken place with Venezuela and Venezuela's allies being Russia, Iran, and China is going to affect us. What is going on is going to affect us in America. In the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then shall come sudden destruction upon them, as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape." Family, what we are witnessing now is the calm before the storm. Are we not familiar with the frog in the pot syndrome, or the boiled frog syndrome? Is a metaphor for failing to notice or react to gradual negative changes until it is too late. What has just taken place with Venezuela is going to greatly affect not only us in America, but everyone in the world. So pay attention, family, with what I'm about to share with you, and I will be back with you momentarily. Fair use.
A senior analyst for the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Ben, I want to play out a quick soundbite from President Trump. He addressed Iran earlier today.
It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible just a few weeks ago. We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts.
President Trump saying that just moments ago at that press conference with oil executives in Venezuela. You saw some of the videos in Rebecca's report. From a global affairs lens, Ben, how should we weigh the protests' economic drivers versus its political drivers in explaining why this wave of protest is escalating the way it's escalating?
You've had several waves of protest in Iran over the last 15 years. Now, with the collapse of the Iranian currency, the rial, and the rise in food prices, that has also been an immediate trigger. But as your report pointed out, this is about now a lot more than one single issue. This is really about the survival of the regime itself. And my sense is that this time really could be different.
Pay attention.
Amid the Bella One row, Kim Jong-un sent a thunderous letter to Vladimir Putin, pledging unconditional loyalty to Russia as tensions with Washington rise. Kim Jong-un sent the letter on Thursday in response to a congratulatory message from Putin, according to North Korea's state media outlet KCNA. However, KCNA and officials in Pyongyang did not specify when Putin sent his message or under what circumstances it was delivered to North Korea. In his letter, the North Korean leader also said friendly ties with Russia will always remain precious, framing the relationship as strategic and personal. Kim went even further, writing that he would always be with Putin for the sake of Putin and Russia, signaling alignment regardless of global backlash. Kim's message to Putin. Kim wrote that he would unconditionally respect and unconditionally support Putin's policies and decisions, presenting his commitment as absolute and non-negotiable. He added that he is willing to always stand with Putin for the sake of Putin and your Russia, saying this choice would be constant and permanent. Kim also said the exchange made him feel once again the true comradely relations between them, implying a bond forged through shared confrontation with the West. Using the opportunity, he emphasized that he regards his friendly relations with Putin as the most precious source of pride, elevating the tie above routine diplomacy. This renewed show of North Korean support comes at a moment of rising Moscow-Washington tensions, with fresh flashpoints appearing across multiple regions.
Please pay attention.
On January 7th, the U.S. Coast Guard seized a Russia-flagged Venezuela-linked oil tanker, triggering an immediate diplomatic and security confrontation. Reports said the tanker was not only Russia-flagged, but was also accompanied by a Moscow submarine, adding a military edge to what might otherwise be a sanctions case. The United States seized the vessel, named Bella One, while it was at sea, claiming it was evading sanctions and carrying illicit oil shipments. In response, Russia condemned the seizure and argued that no state has the right to use force, framing the move as unlawful interference. Moscow also claimed Washington acted outside its jurisdiction and demanded that any citizens on board be released, escalating the issue into a rights and sovereignty dispute. So far, President Vladimir Putin has not made direct public remarks on the Bella One seizure, even as Russian officials issue increasingly sharp warnings.
We're picking up where we left off. And I want to start by quickly reviewing what we established in our last session, because it's absolutely foundational to everything we're going to explore today. Last time we talked about monotheism, which is the idea of one true God. And as I emphasized, this marked an intellectual revolution in human history, unlike anything that came before. From monotheism, we developed three new ideas that would come to dominate human civilization: money, the individual, and the nation state. Now, it's important to understand that these ideas have always existed in some form throughout human history. Humans have always engaged in exchange. Humans have always had some sense of personal identity. Humans have always organized into groups. But with monotheism, these ideas became the dominant paradigms. They became the lens through which we see everything.
As it states in the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 23, Yahushua states and says, "But take you heed. Behold, I have foretold you all things. Everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen is prophesied and written of in the scriptures. Book of Yeshayahu or Isaiah chapter 21 verse 9. The burden of the desert of the sea, as whirlwinds in the south pass through it, so cometh from the desert, from a terrible land, a grievous vision is declared unto me. The treacherous dealer dealeth treacherously. O the spoiler spoileth. Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media. All the sidings thereof have I made to cease. Therefore are my loins filled with pain. Pangs have taken hold upon me, the pangs of a woman that travaileth. I was bowed down at the hearing of it. I was dismayed at the seeing of it. My heart fainted. Fearfulness affrighted me. The night of my pleasure he hath turned into fear unto me. Prepare the table, watch in the watchtower, eat, drink, arise, ye princesses, and anoint the shield. For thus saith Yahuwah unto me, go and set a watchman, let him declare what he seeth. And he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen, a chariot of asses and a chariot of camels. And he hearkened diligently with much heed, and he cried, a lion, my master, I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am set in my ward whole nights. And behold, here cometh a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen. And he answered and said, Babylon is fallen, and graven images of her mighty ones have been broken to the ground. Prophecy is quickly unfolding before our very eyes. Open your spiritual eyes and ears and Shema and hear what the Creator is saying. This is not fear. This prophecy of Daniel 7, family, is not meant to scare us, but to prepare and wake us up. You see, family, Yahuwah set these nations up for a specific period of time, and it was never for them to rule forever. And what we're going to uncover in today's lesson is their rise, their rule, and their fall, which we are witnessing right now. Let us go to the book of Revelations, chapter 18. Book of Revelations, or Hazun, chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw another Malachim. The proper term for angel is Malach or Malachim. Another Malach come down from Shamaim or heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his esteem or glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become a habitation of devils, and a hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations, did you hear that, family? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings, which are presidents, rulers of the earth, have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundancies of her delicacies. How did the merchants of the earth wax rich? Through the stock exchange. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Come out of her physically, these population centers known as cities, and come out of her spiritually with all of this false pagan Baal worship that the Gentiles have taught us. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto Shamaim, or heaven, and Elohim have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she have rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Listen, so this won't be televised. That's why it says in 1 Thessalonians, when they shall say peace and safety, then shall come sudden destruction. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. And we're going to deal with this in today's lesson. For strong is Yahuwah Elohim who judgeth her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her through the stock exchange, family, shall weep and wail over her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Now, family, let us go to the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year, Belteshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel, had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matter. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and the 4 beasts, which are Greco-Roman, Gentile, European nations, family, and the 4 beasts, or kingdoms, or powerful Gentile nations, should we say, came up from the sea. The sea represents peoples, kingdoms, nations. So the 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. Verse 4, pay attention. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. And I beheld, to the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given unto it. Let us deal with verse 4 and identify, family, who the lion and the eagle are. In the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 12, verse 11, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea represents people, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. Let us identify the eagle and the lion. The lion, family, as you see on the screen, with the eagle's wings, represents none other than Great Britain. The eagle represents the United States. Again, the $1 million question is, where is a modern empire that is symbolized by a lion, here is the answer: Great Britain. Now, there have been many nations that have utilized the lion as a symbol, but in modern times, the lion is most clearly associated with Great Britain, the largest empire in modern times. In recent memory, it could be said that the sun never sets on the British Empire. The British lion mentioned in Daniel 7 and 4, you see, is universally recognized. It has appeared on the coat of arms of the United Kingdom since King James of Scotland ascended to the English throne in the year 1603. It also appears on several national emblems and flags. Another British symbol, Lady Britannia, is depicted riding the back of a lion. The lion symbol is depicted behind Britannia on the British 50-pence coin, and a lion is shown crowned on the back of the British 10-piece coin. A lion is also used as a symbol on a non-ceremonial flag. So in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 4, the lion is none other than Great Britain. And on July 4th, 1776, the eagle, which represents America, broke free from the British rule, so-called. You see, Great Britain has kings and queens. A corporation has presidents and vice presidents. They so-called broke free on July 4th, 1776, but that's for another lesson. The average empire, according to a famous historian, Joseph Goebbels, lasts 250 years. From July 4th, 1776 up until July 4th, 2026, America will celebrate its 250th year of independence. The average empire lasts 250 years. So in Daniel chapter 7, verse 4, the lion, which is Great Britain, and the eagle, which is America, is identified. Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 1. Then I saw a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew upon her and were gathered together. And I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small, but her head were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet it rested with the residue. Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and reigned upon the earth over them that dwell therein. And I saw till all things under heaven, which is the earth family, were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon the earth. Who right now has been the most powerful nation on the planet? Is it not the eagle? Absolutely, it is. Now that the lion and the eagle has been identified in verse 4 of Daniel chapter 7, Let us look at verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth, in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said, thus, arise and devour much flesh. What nation, Gentile nation that is, on the planet is represented by the bear? That nation, family, is none other than Russia. And in the scriptures, Russia was also known as Rosh, R-O-S-H. Russia is the bear that is being mentioned of in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 5. And the dragon is none other than Asia, which we're going to cover a little later in today's lesson. Who are allies with Venezuela? Is it not Russia? Yes. Is it not Iran, which is Persia? Yes. Is it not China, which is Asia? Yes. So what just took place in Venezuela, family, is fulfilling prophecy. Now, according to Zondervan's study Bible pertaining to the 3 ribs that are in the bear's mouth, the footnote in Zondervan King James Study Bible for Daniel chapter 7 verse 5 on page 1758, it states that the 3 ribs that are in the bear's mouth, which is Russia, represent the Medo-Persian Iranian Empire, who also backs up Russia, Iran, which is the Medes, and we, the United States, is having conflict and threatening the Medo-Persian Empire right now, which is backed by the bear, which is backed by the dragon. Prophecy is quickly unfolding, and as it states in the scriptures, for when they shall say peace and safety, then shall come sudden destruction. How do you think, family, is going to take place in 1 hour? Keep your spiritual eyes and ears open. Do not allow them to distract you with this false entertainment and all of these false flags that are taking place all over this planet. So the bear that is mentioned in Daniel chapter 7 is none other than Russia. Please do an internet search yourselves, family. Ask Google who has the most powerful nuclear arsenal on the planet. You would be surprised to find out that it is Russia. So the bear is Russia, the lion is Britain, and the eagle is America, and the 3 ribs that are in the bear's mouth is the Medo-Persian Iranian Empire. All of these nations we are in allegedly conflict with right now. Verse 6 of Daniel chapter 7. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast, which represents Gentile nations, had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Let us now identify the leopard in Daniel chapter 7, verse 6. Who is this leopard mentioned in that passage of scripture? The 4-headed leopard with the wings of a fowl, with the birth of the so-called Holy Roman Empire, another prophetic picture began to take shape. The four-headed leopard with the wings of a fowl mentioned in Daniel 7 and 6, no other country in history has been more predominantly identified with a leopard other than Germany. In the past century, the German Leopard tanks have played major roles in World War II. In all my thousands of hours of biblical research, I have never seen any other nation that is more accurately associated with the leopard other than Germany. All of these nations are allegedly in conflict with the eagle right now as we speak. Let us deal with the dragon, which is Asia, who has an alliance with the bear, which is Russia. Let us go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and pick it up at verse 1. Woe be unto you, Babylon! Babylon is the greatest and the most powerful nation on earth. You have a multitude of different nationalities trying to come together as one people. That only represents one nation on earth, which is currently the most powerful nation, and that is the eagle. Woe unto thee, Babylon, and Asia, which is the dragon, China. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the woods? Or may anyone quench the fire in a stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Yahuwah sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? No one can fight against the Creator Yahuwah. This is his word. This is his doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. A fire shall go forth from his wrath. Whose wrath? Yahuwah's. And who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yahuwah shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before Yahuwah, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Who's bending the bow? Yahuwah Elohim. Who is going to put a hook in all of these powerful nations' nostrils and turn them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which has to do with the third and final woe, which is the third and final world war. This is Yahuwah's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. You see, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return until they come upon the earth. So this is not something you can plow away. This is prophecy that must, shall, and will come to pass. This is Yahuwah's doing, family, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Like as an arrow is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that are sent upon where, family? The earth shall not return again. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and death, the beginning of what? Wars. Two woes have passed already, family. Woes have to do with the strongest warning that the Creator Yahuwah Elohim can give. Two world wars have already taken place, and a third is unfolding right before our very eyes. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for an amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness. Listen, family, the overwhelming majority of people on planet Earth, even when Yahushua, the Messiah, that melanated man, comes riding on a chariot after this third world war, the majority of the people in the world, including your family members, will not repent and turn from their wickedness. Come out of them, my people, that you be not partakers in her sin. Come out of these spiritual houses of ill repute and these false man-made religions that they have given you, and come out from among these population centers. That will be the focal point, and we're going to prove this in today's lesson. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals, which is food, shall become so cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then evil shall grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that shall escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And listen, family, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1. Read along with me, family. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of the prophecy. Who is Yahuwah's people? The lost melanated sheep of the house of Israel, those who are classified as black, who can trace their lineage back to the transatlantic slave trade, which took the children of Abari to the islands of the seas, South, Central, and North America through the transatlantic slave trade, and to the four corners of the earth. You are the children of Abraham. You are the children of Abari. You are the children of Yisrael. You are the apple of Yahuwah Elohim's eye. You see, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of the prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahuwah. Not Lord. That's them Greco-Roman European Gentiles put that title Lord in there, which is the same as Baal, Baal. The creator's name is Yahuwah. Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. I am that I am, or I am who I am, and his son's name is Yahushua. Shua meaning salvation. And what does Yahushua mean? Yahuwah saves, or Yahuwah is salvation. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speaketh against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahuwah, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, and death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith Yahuwah, I will not hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith Yahuwah. Who said this, family? Yahuwah. I will surely avenge them and receive unto them all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people, the melanated so-called black people, not to be confused with the Hamitic people, the Africans. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. This place is known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt, which is mentioned in the book of Hazun or Revelations. I will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. What did they legalize in 2015? Saying two people can rub carpet together and a man can rub a paint stick up another man's back. That's why Yahuwah Elohim destroyed Pompeii. That's why Yahuwah Elohim destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. But they legalized it in 2015 and legalized something that the Creator above is opposed to. Think about what I'm saying, family. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahuwah shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fall through the blasting and hail, and with fearful conciliation. Woe to them, or woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Listen, verse 15. For sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. And there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princesses, or the course of their action shall stand in their power. This is what's taking place over in Iran right now. They have cut the internet and the people are protesting. It's coming, family. Please take heed. Not only there, but it's coming upon the world. These people are getting tired of being mistreated by the powers that be. Look at what it says. There shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princesses, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able to. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. When you don't have access to the grocery stores and you can't go into these population centers and move around freely, within 7 to 10 days, the average human becomes animalistic. This has been proven time and time again throughout history. Behold, saith Yahuwah, I will call together all the kings of the earth. This is the valley of Jehoshaphat, the third woe, which is about to take place now, family. I will gather together the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn them one against another. So how Yahuwah destroyed ancient Egypt in the book of it's Ezekiel or Isaiah, he put a spirit amongst the Egyptians and he turned them one against another. That's what the Creator is going to do with all of these powerful Gentile nations. He's going to put a disagreeable spirit in them, and he's going to put a hook in their jaw and turn them to the valley of Jehoshaphat. It's going to take place because it is written in the Creator's word. You see, look at what it says. And turn them one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Like as they do unto my chosen, so will I also do, and recompense into their bosom. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, my right hand shall not spare sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, says Yahuwah. Christianity does not keep the commandments of Yahuwah Elohim. Yahuwah Elohim says, observe the Sabbath, which is Saturday, not pagan Sunday, first day worship. Yahuwah says not to take his name in vain, as the 45,000 pastors of the false Christian denominations do every time you refer to the Father Yahuwah as Lord. According to Jeremiah chapter 23, the pastors are doing evil. The Creator's name is not Lord, which is B-A-A-L. It is Yahuwah. And the Father Yahuwah has nothing to do with the false religion of Christianity. He never gave us religion. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments, and nothing else. He never gave religion. He never gave us traditions of men. Look at what it says. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith Yahuwah. Do you hear that respectfully, Christians? I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For Yahuwah knoweth all them that sin against him. Therefore deliver he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For Yahuwah shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and cause the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmenians, raging in the wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the woods, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Remember verse 30. We're going to identify who they are after we, at the very end of this chapter. Verse 30 is key. And the dragons, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then shall these be trouble bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their hosts shall be feared and dread and strife among their kings. Verse 34, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars. Isn't that what we hear in the book of Hazun or Revelations, family? And blood shall be from the sword up until the belly. The same thing we read in the book of Hazun or Revelation, where blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle. This is about to soon take place. And dung of men unto the camel's hoof. And there shall be great filthfulness and trembling upon the earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. And strong wind shall arise from where, family? The east, that covers the entirety of the planet, and shall open, and the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the stars stirred to cause fear toward the east and west wind, shall be destroyed. The great and mighty cloud shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein. And they shall pour out over every and eminent place a horrible star, fire and hail and flying swords, and many waters, that all the fields may be full, and all the rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down what, family? The cities is gonna be their focal points. Come out of her, my people, mountains and hills and trees and woods and grass of meadows and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. Then they shall come and besiege her, the star, and all the wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up until heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. Same thing we read in the beginning of today's lesson in Revelations chapter 18. And it's going to happen in 1 hour, 1 day. When they say peace and safety, then comes sudden destruction. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. That's what we read in Revelations chapter 13 around verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So the overwhelming majority are going to be slain by this third woe. And the few that are left are going into slavery. There's going to be a reverse slave trade that's about to take place, family. Look at what it says. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. Verse 46, the dragon, Asia, China, and thou, Asia, the dragon, which is in alliance with the bear. Thou art partaker of the hope of what? Babylon. They have put off their ancient dress code. They used to wear these long, flowing, beautiful robes and gowns that portrayed their ancient culture. Now they wear business suits, ties, mini skirts, thongs, and everything else. They have taken on the Babylonian culture. It says, and thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast decked thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom. They got something over there now called leftover women. If they're not married by the age of 35 in China or Asia, they are known as leftover women and are seen as disdained. Please look it up yourself. Don't take my word. Leftover women in Asia or China. It says, thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chasteneth wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith Yahuwah, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the strokes of thine hand, and saying over their dead when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense, which is payment. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith Yahuwah, even so shall Yahuwah doeth unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh. What do you call that, family? Cannibalism. Look at it. Look at the etymology of the word. Cannibalism. Canaan and Baal worship. And I've identified a multitude of times who the Canaanites are. They shall eat their own flesh and drink their own blood, for very hungry of bread and of thirst and of water. Thou as an unhappy shall come through the sea and receive plagues again. And this and the passage that they shall rush on the idol city and shall destroy some portion of thy land and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon that was what? Destroyed. And thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire, and shall consume thee, and thy cities, thy land, and thy mountains, and all thy wood, and thy fruitful trees shall they burn with fire. Thy children shall they carry away captive. Revelations 13:10. After this third world war, there will be a reverse slave trade. You see? And what hast thou that spoil it and mar the beauty of thy face? Book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city or nation by iniquity. How many hundreds of millions of Native Americans did they slaughter when they came and took this land by force? Woe be to them that have established a nation or city through bloodshed. Then they went to the coast of Africa, the land of Judah, and enslaved the children of Abraham, took them to the islands of the seas, South, Central, and North America last, and to the four corners of the earth, and worked them for free for over 250 years. Woe to the nation that is built upon bloodshed and iniquity. Then, after this nation was established through bloodshed and iniquity, in 2015, they legalized something that the Creator Yahuwah is diametrically opposed to. Carpet rubbing together and running paint stick up one another back. That is against Yahuwah. It is sin. Go back and read Sodom and Gomorrah, Genesis chapter 19. Go and read the book of Jashir, chapter 18. The book of Jashir, chapter 19. The book of Jashir, chapter 10. Go and research the destruction of Pompeii in the year 70 AD when that volcano erupted and turned the humans into glass. Their sins have reached up until heaven. Family, please look this up in your spare time. Elder O or Psalms 85 ministry has nothing to do with any so-called conspiracy theory, Freemasonry, Eastern Star, or any of that. Our source to everything in life is the Creator, Yahuwah, through his son, Yahushua, nothing else and none else. But please look this up in your spare time. Albert Pike and the 3 World Wars. Look this up. And for the sake of time, it says on the 3rd World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the, what is that? Agentur, agentur of the illuminated, between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and the political Zionist state, you see it there, of Yisrael mutually decimate one another. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on the issue, will be constrained to fight in the point to complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion, which shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists and shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which is the horror, will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will, you see it there, take out those destroyers of civilizations and multitudes, disillusions. Look at there, with Christianities, so forth and so on. Go look this up in your spare time, family. Please. And I almost forgot that we earlier, 2nd Esdras 15 and 30. You see the photo there, family. You clearly identify who they are. These are the 3 ribs that are in the bear, which is Russia's mouth. And all of these nations support Venezuela. Don't sleep. Do not let them put you to sleep spiritually with these false flag distractions, entertainment, football, basketball, and all of this other stuff. It is distractions. This is the calm before the storm. It's going to take place in 1 hour, in 1 day. Open your spiritual eyes and prepare. This is not fear-mongering. This is to prepare you for what is quickly and soon about to take place. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 1. The word of Yahuwah spake against Babylon, against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah or Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. Marduk is broken into pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there shall come a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove and they shall depart, both man and beast. Verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as a he-goat. A he-goat is a leader before the flocks. For lo, I will raise up and cause to come against Babylon an assembly of great nations, which we've covered and identified already in today's lesson, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldee shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahuwah. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifers at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost part of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahuwah, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about it, and all ye that bend a bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahuwah. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahuwah. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. Cut off the shower, or the sower, from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for the fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Verse 22. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? According to Bible Hub commentary for Jeremiah 50:23, the hammer of the earth represents the most powerful military on planet Earth. And we know what nation that represents. So that's what the hammer is. According to Bible Hub commentary, Jeremiah 50:23, biblical scholars state that this hammer represents the most powerful military on planet Earth, and the whole world is going to be confounded and amazed that the hammer of the whole earth was cut asunder and broken. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahuwah, and Yahuwah hath opened his armory, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Master Yahuwah of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. We are going to identify who Yahuwah's weapons of indignation is 1,000,000% with chapter and verse. Listen, let's read on. come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing be of her left. Same chapter, let's skip down and look at verse 40. We're going to identify who Yahuwah's weapons of indignation are. Listen. As Yahuwah Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith Yahuwah, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell there. Behold, a people shall come from where? The north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show thee mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon their horses, everyone put in array like a man to the battle against who? O daughter of Babylon. So this is not the original Babylon. This is the daughter of Babylon. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. Let's look at verse 33. For thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, have devoured me. The original Babylon family was Iraq. He hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He hath filled his belly with my delicacies. He hath cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh upon who? Babylon. Shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry, and Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and a hissing without inhabitants. Let us go back to verse 1 in this same chapter, family. Listen, Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. What is this destroying wind that is being mentioned of? The destroying wind is found in the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahuwah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouths. There's only one power on planet Earth that can do that, family, and that's nuclear. That's the destroying wind that's being mentioned in verse 1. Verse 2, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of her trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth the bow, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth up himself the brigandine, and spare ye not her young men. Destroy her utterly, all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her seats, For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Yehuda of his Elohim. That's the northern and southern tribe, all 12 tribes, which are melanated, have not been forsaken, of Yahuwah of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the set apart one of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Get out of those population centers. Be not cut off in her iniquities, for this is the time of Yahuwah's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahuwah's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroyed. How for her take palm for her pain, if so that she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies. This is the same thing we read in the book of Revelations. Let us identify Yahuwah's weapons of indignation. Book of Yeshayahu or Isaiah chapter 13 verse 1 to identify Yahuwah Elohim's weapon of indignation. The burden of Babylon which Isaiah the son of Ammuz did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of the multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Yahuwah of hosts mustereth the host of battle. They come, listen, verse 5, listen family, they come from a far country, from the ends of heaven, even Yahuwah, the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Who are the weapons of Yahuwah's indignation? The scripture is going to identify this. Let's continue reading. Verse 6. How ye, for the day of Yahuwah is at hand, and it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall the hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day cometh, the day of Yahuwah cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to do what, family? To lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. What does that? The destroying wind that was mentioned in Jeremiah 51 verse 1, the destroying wind that was mentioned in Zechariah chapter 14 verse 12, when they shoot those fiery darts and those darts land, they have unimaginable power, and the dust and the smoke that is going to create is not going to allow the people to see the stars before they are decimated. You see? Look at what it says. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth. The moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. This is talking about a melanated Abrahamic Israelite man. Did you know, family, that melanin is worth several times more than that of gold? That's right, melanin. That which makes our skin so-called black is worth several times more than gold. So this is talking about a Israelite man. This is talking about a melanated Abrahamic man who keeps the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Creator Yahuwah Elohim. You see? Therefore, so all of you lost daughters of Zion out there who think you don't need a man, as prophesied in Isaiah chapter 3, as prophesied in Isaiah chapter 4, soon and very soon, those of you daughters of Zion who don't repent are going to regret everything that you've said out of your mouths. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall move out of her place, the wrath of Yahuwah of hosts in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as the sheep no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children, listen, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. This is what is going to take place to those of you stuck in the population centers. And woe unto you, daughters of Zion, and women who don't have a man, a husband, a righteous man and a righteous husband, a covering. Woe unto you. You see? Behold, verse 17 identifies who the weapons of Yahuwah's indignation are. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men into pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, and they shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of the kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when Yahuwah Elohim destroyed or overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. What did they legalize in 2015? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch his tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. In verse 17, who are the Medes, which is going to do this? In verse 13, it states the Medes are going to do this. And in let us go back before I show you. Verse 5 says that the Medes are the weapons of Yahuwah's indignation. Who are the Medes? According to the King James Zondervan Study Bible, footnote for Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17, the Medes are none other than the Medo-Persians, the modern day Iranians, which are in alignment with the bear. The Medes is Iran, which is the three ribs that are in the bear's mouth. Wake up. Prophecy is quickly coming to pass. Prepare yourselves. Please support the work, family. Much ahab to all of you all. who support the work in the ministry. Like, share, and subscribe. There's so much more to come. In closing, family, 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 1. And it came to pass, while as the lion spake these words unto the eagle, I saw, and behold, the head that remained, and the four winds appeared no more, and the two went unto it, and to set themselves up to reign. And their kingdom was small and filled with uproar. Verse 3 is why we came here, family. Let me leave it on the screen and you read it for yourselves. This is not fear-mongering. Prepare yourselves. Behold, it is already written. I honor and reverence the Creator Yahuwah. I respect and honor the nation where I reside and dwell. Prophecy is prophecy. These are not my words, but the Creator's words. Look at verse 3. Prophecy is quickly unfolding. Please prepare yourselves. The beast of Daniel have been identified. They have been identified. Prepare yourselves. In closing, book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse Zechariah 13 and 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd and against the man that is my fellow, saith Yahuwah of hosts. Smite the shepherd and all of that false Christian denominations. Come out of those houses of ill repute, family. No truth is in there. And the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahuwah, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Zechariah 13 and 9. And I will bring a third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, which is Yahuwah. And I will shema or hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahuwah is my or our Elohim. Thank you for spending time with me, family. If you would, please, whether sitting or standing, look to heaven where your help comes from and lift up set apart hands and face the east and palau with me, if you would, please. Dear precious and beloved Abba Yahuwah, open our eyes to see beyond the system of men. Father Yahuwah, give us wisdom to discern the times, courage to stand firm, and faith to trust your kingdom above all others, Father Yahuwah, that we may not fear the shaking of the earth, for our redemption draws near. In the precious and beloved and saving name of Yahushua, the Messiah's name, we palau unto thee, Father Yahuwah. Equip us with what we need, Father Yahuwah, to prepare us for what is taking place on this earth. Anoint each and every one of us from the crowns of our heads to the soles of our feet. Heal, wash, cleanse, and deliver us through the shed blood of your Son, Yahushua. Hamashiach's name we palau unto thee, Father Yahuwah. We palau. So shall it be. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Elder O loves you, family, and the Creator above loves you even more. Please share this lesson and message with as many as you know. Until next time, much love, family. Elder O signing off. Shalom.